Hello, hello, hello. It is Latoya with ThreeLittleCrystals.com. I am your universe soul ambassador. I am just simply trying to help you reconnect with the universe, YO universe inside of yourself. And that is the reason why I take it from my blog posts to videos, because I want you to actually hear my voice and understand exactly what I wrote in the blog post and why. So today we will be talking about omens, and the omen in particular that I'll be talking about today is the butterfly. So, I'm pretty sure the majority of you out there have probably read The Alchemist, the best book ever. I make it my business to read the book or listen to the audiobook at least once a year, because each time you read the book you actually get a different understanding, or at least I do. I've been reading the book since I first heard about it from Will Smith. Back in 2013, I saw a YouTube video of his old quotes, and he talked about the alchemist and how it helped change his life. And so, of course, I had to go out and get the book to see exactly what he was talking about. So since 2013, I've been reading the book, and I'm so happy to have it a part of my life. And I do recommend that you all read the book as well. I will have a link to purchase the book in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get into the blog post. So I want to start out by reading a quote from you from the book. And I want to just tell you a little bit about what the book is about. So it's about Santiago. He's a young boy who is a shepherd. He is in search of this treasure that he has heard about. And of course, like any great story would have it, Santiago thinks that he's in search for the treasure, but he's actually in search for himself and his faith in the universe, as we would know it to be. So in this scene, Santiago is speaking with the king or a king, and the king tells him this: in order to find the treasure, you will have to follow the omens. God has prepared a path for everyone to follow. You just have to read the omens that he left for you. So again, God in this quote could be looked at as God. It could be looked at as the universe, spirit, whatever you call God, whatever you say God to be, that is the entity that has left signs along the way for you and your life path. Luckily, a lot of us have experienced the same or similar omens, but they are going to be interpreted differently for each person depending on where you are in your life and depending on what you're going through. For me, one of the most recent omens that I came across was a beautiful white butterfly. Now, some of you may not know, but I recently moved to Southern California from Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 2 years, and it was the most beautiful experience ever. In Hawaii, I don't really remember seeing a lot of butterflies. So when I saw this butterfly, I was just mesmerized, like, oh my gosh, butterflies still exist. Like, where are all the freaking butterflies? I really haven't seen a lot of butterflies since childhood, but I can remember my first encounter with the butterfly where it was just kind of like flying around me, and someone was like, oh, if a butterfly lands on you, it leaves a tattoo. And so of course, if you tell a kid that, it's like, I'm gonna be chasing butterflies all of my life. So I remember that story very vividly. I remember where I was at and what I was feeling, and the butterflies presence just brought me a lot of happiness and joy. And so of course, me being the person that I am, I had to research to see exactly what this butterfly represented. Recently, I pulled an oracle card for myself about a couple of weeks ago, and the card told me to pay attention to the omens around me, the positive omens around me. So every single time that I happen to see something that kind of stands out, I'm researching it just to see. And omens, in my opinion, normally do come from nature. They come from nature because it's Mother Earth, Mother Universe, Mother Nature that is going to help guide you along the way. So I Googled a wonderful article about butterflies in general, and it had a lot of great and wonderful points in it. And I just wanted to go ahead and break down some of my favorite quotes from the article. It's 3 in particular about the butterfly and what it represents for your life in regards of where you're at. So, the butterfly and the stages of life. We can relate to the butterfly stages of life to our own life phases: growing pains, time of ravenous hunger, times of vulnerability, moments of miraculous expansion. So for me, since I am in transition in my life and I'm going through this huge self-love journey, and I'm also experiencing Saturn's return, as we talked about last week, I am in a place of change, and it's scary to go into your cocoon. It's scary to go from being a caterpillar to actually going into your cocoon, and then you don't know what you're going to turn into after it. You don't know what's on the other side. And so for me, that's something that I'm working on, just learning how to trust the process, have faith in the universe, and know that no matter what I go through, no matter what experience I have, I'm going to make it through it. I truly am. And I want all of you out there to know that same thing. You hear it all the time, but you rarely ever believe it to be true for yourself. Your friends, your family, whomever talks to you about different things all the time, and something inside of you is still saying, no, but it can't be true. I'm not worthy. I'm not grateful. I'm not able, I'm not capable. And that's not true. Let's stop talking ourselves out of change and let's start embracing it, because change is not a bad thing. I recently saw a meme floating around the internet saying, "You've changed." And the person says, "I hope so." And so I'm kind of that same way now. I'm hoping that I am changing every single day, because whatever's not growing is dead. And I do believe that to be true. So, of course, the butterfly comes into your life to help you embrace change. So, another quote from the article says, "Herein lies the deepest symbolic lesson of the butterfly. She asks us to accept changes in our lives as casually as she does. The butterfly unquestioningly embraces the changes of her environment and her body." And wow. It's like she just flows so gracefully and says, "I'm okay with it. Sure, I go from being a slow moving, beautiful caterpillar to being in a cocoon for however long, to float out and fly out as a wonderful, beautiful butterfly with whatever shade I am, with however I look, with however large I am. No matter what I look like on the other side, I will embrace the change. I know the change will happen. I know the change will come." And so I think that's something that we all need to do. We're humans, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So therefore, change is inevitable. It's going to happen. Working in a call center environment for a good bit of my life, one thing that we had to learn was you got to be flexible, okay? The only thing constant in that type of working environment is change. They change policies every single day. It's like, geez, can we keep anything consistent here? I guess consistent is employment, so be happy for that. But yeah, it was just very difficult for me in that environment and in life to just embrace change. It's like, I don't want to. You think about high school and how you're so ready to get out of high school, and then when graduation comes, the closer it comes, the scarier it gets. It's like, oh God, well, now I'm going to go to college. Oh my gosh, what happens after college? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get married. And, a wife, a husband. Oh my God. So then I'm going to have kids. And then you just talk yourself into this anxiety, anxious thing. Of course, if you're worried, that normally means that you're focusing too much on the future and the outcome. And we need to just learn to embrace the change. Lastly, the butterfly helps you learn how to keep the faith. So this unwavering acceptance of her metamorphosis, is also symbolic of faith. Here, the butterfly beckons us to keep our faith as we undergo transitions in our lives. She understands that our toiling, fretting, and anger are useless against the turning tides of nature. She asks us to recognize the same. How beautiful is that? First of all, this article is phenomenal. I love the way she eloquently places her words. But that's true. Like, keep the faith, okay? Trust the freaking process. Every single thing happens for a reason. And one thing that I want people to understand is that whenever you smudge, use crystals, heal yourself through Reiki, understand that those things are not a cure. Oftentimes when we think of cure, we think of getting rid of the problem. But instead, this healing allows you to truly understand what you're going through and why you're going through it. So sometimes the outcome may not look positive, but it's actually supposed to happen that way. So for instance, if you're in a relationship and you're asking the universe to help you out with your relationship, you're hoping the outcome is we live happily ever after. However, if you ask the universe for help, you smudge, you use crystals, you use the healing power of Reiki to help you, and the universe decides to get rid of your partner, you may think it's a heartbreak. And you may think, oh my God, how did it end? I asked for help. I asked you for help. But guess what? The universe was saying, I helped you. I got rid of that sucker. Okay? Drop that zero and get with this hero that's coming your way. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. And that's how you're going to help yourself keep the faith, by knowing no matter what happens to me, no matter what changes I go through, the universe is here for me always. As Alex L says, always in all ways. And that's definitely true. So again, I hope this helps you better understand that, the universe is here always for you, to help you. No matter what you go through, no matter what changes you experience, it's going to be for the greater good of you, okay? And you have to have faith in that. You have to embrace the change and believe it to be true for yourself. So again, just pay attention to the omens around you. If you happen to see anything, and pay attention to consistencies in things. For instance, if you're driving down the road and you happen to see a tree leaning to the left, and then you're sitting in a parking lot and the tree in the parking lot is also leaning to the left. And then when you get home, you notice the tree outside of your bedroom is leaning to the left. That to me would be a sign from the universe for you to at least research to see, what does trees leaning to the left mean? It may sound simple. It may sound like, girl, seriously, I'll be researching every day. Hey, do it. Research every day, because you don't know what the universe is trying to tell you until you actually research it and figure it out. So again, I'm so happy for you coming to this blog post, aka Blog Talk Radio, aka YouTube video. I'm so happy that you came my way and I was able to share my story with you for your understanding. So again, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Please visit our Instagram page for daily updates on the shop and what's going on in my life at 3 Little Crystals, as well as our blog, 3littlecrystals.com. And of course, get all your smudging supplies and crystals from 3littlecrystals.etsy.com. As always, the information will be in the description box below. And stay tuned for our 1-minute meditation. Namaste.